There's a special kind of pain that comes from loving someone so much you forget to protect yourself. It's the kind of hurt that creeps in slowly, like rust on iron, until one day you wake up and realize you've been eroded down to nothing. I thought opening my home meant opening my heart. Instead, I became a stage prop in someone else's performance. Stick with me until the end, because what happened next changed everything. And don't forget to subscribe to Women's Voices and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. It was late June in Clearwater, Florida, when my phone rang. The kind of afternoon where the heat shimmers off the pavement and even the palm trees look tired. I was out on my lanai, deadheading the hibiscus, when I saw Marcus's name flash across my screen. My son. He hadn't called in almost 2 months. Not since my birthday, when he sent a generic text at 9 o'clock at night. "Mom, hey." His voice sounded strained, like he was forcing brightness into it. "How are you doing?" "I'm fine, sweetheart. Just tending to the garden. The mangoes are coming in beautifully this year." There was a pause. The kind that tells you the person on the other end has rehearsed what comes next. "Listen, I've been talking with Vanessa, and we're in a bit of a situation. Our lease is up next month, and with her business growing so fast, we really need to be more strategic about where we're living." Vanessa was my daughter-in-law, a social media influencer, though I'd never fully understood what that meant. She posted pictures of herself drinking green smoothies and doing yoga on beaches. Somehow this translated into money, sponsorships, free products. Marcus seemed proud of it, even though he worked 60 hours a week as a sales director while she, took photos. "We were thinking," he continued, "maybe we could stay with you for a little while, just temporarily. You have all that space, and the kids would love being near the beach. Plus, Mom, I worry about you in that big house all alone." Something twisted in my chest. Not quite hope, but close to it. My grandchildren, Lily and Noah, 7 and 5. I'd seen them exactly 3 times in the past year. Always brief visits where Vanessa seemed irritated by my attempts to play with them. Checking her phone constantly, rushing them out the door. "How long is temporarily?" I asked. "Just until we find the right place. Maybe 2, 3 months tops. We'd help with expenses, of course." That should have been my first warning. The vagueness, the way he avoided specifics. But I was 68 years old, widowed for 5 years, and I missed the sound of children laughing in my home, so I said yes. They arrived on a Saturday in early July, with a U-Haul truck that looked far too large for a temporary stay. I watched from my front window as Marcus and Vanessa unloaded box after box, furniture wrapped in moving blankets, suitcases stacked on a dolly. The kids ran straight past me into the house without so much as a hello. "Where do you want the sectional?" Marcus called out, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Sectional?" I stepped outside. "I have a perfectly good couch in the living room." Vanessa appeared then, wearing athleisure that probably cost more than my monthly electric bill. Her phone already angled for a selfie with my house in the background. "Eleanor," she said, not looking at me, "that old thing has to go. I need the space to look right for content. You understand?" I didn't understand. But I also didn't want to start off on the wrong foot, so I helped them move my grandmother's antique sofa, the one I'd reupholstered myself after Tom died, into the spare bedroom. Vanessa's modern sectional took its place, gray and angular, completely at odds with the coastal cottage aesthetic I'd spent years cultivating. Over the next few days, more of my home disappeared. Vanessa rearranged my kitchen because the layout wasn't optimized. She replaced my living room curtains with sheer white panels because the afternoon light photographs better. She moved my family photos from the hallway wall into a closet because they looked too dated for the background of her videos. "I'm an influencer, Eleanor," she explained when I gently questioned moving my wedding photo. "Aesthetics matter. This is my job." "I thought your job was being a mother," I almost said. But I swallowed it, kept smiling, told myself this was temporary. The first time I appeared in one of her posts, I didn't even know it was happening. I was playing with Lily and Noah in the backyard, pushing them on the swing set Tom had built for Marcus 30 years ago. I heard Vanessa's voice, bright and performative, and turned to see her filming. "And here's Grandma Eleanor helping with the kids while I get some work done. Isn't she just the sweetest? The kids absolutely adore her." She posted it with hashtags I didn't understand. Grateful, blessed life. MIL goals. Within hours, it had thousands of likes and hundreds of comments. I'm so lucky. You're so lucky to have live-in help. Send her my way. I wasn't help. I was a grandmother, spending time with my grandchildren. But when I tried to explain this to Marcus later, he just shrugged. Mom, it's harmless. Vanessa's building her brand. You should be flattered. Flattered. As if being reduced to a supporting character in someone else's story was something to be proud of. The pattern continued. Every time I cooked dinner, Vanessa filmed it. Eleanor makes the most amazing comfort food. Every time I watched the kids so they could go out, another post. So grateful for family support. My feed showed endless photos of Vanessa looking serene and unbothered, while I, always just out of focus in the background, did the actual work. One evening in late July, I asked Marcus when they'd be moving out. We're still looking, he said, not meeting my eyes. The market's crazy right now. It's been almost 2 months, I pointed out gently. Vanessa walked in then, freshly showered, skin glowing from whatever expensive products she used. Are you seriously pressuring us to leave? We're family, Eleanor. I thought you wanted us here. I do want you here. I just thought, you just thought what? That we're taking advantage? She laughed, but there was no warmth in it. We pay for groceries. We help around the house. What more do you want? I wanted to scream that they absolutely did not help around the house. That I did all the laundry, all the cooking, all the childcare, while Vanessa spent hours staging photos and Marcus worked late. But I'd been raised not to cause scenes, not to be difficult, so I apologized instead. The breaking point came on a sweltering afternoon in early August. Vanessa was hosting what she called a content creator meetup. 20 other influencers descending on my home to film themselves drinking rosé and eating charcuterie boards. I'd spent the entire morning cleaning, preparing food, setting up the lanai with the outdoor furniture Vanessa had insisted we buy. When guests started arriving, I tried to greet them, introduce myself, but Vanessa steered them away from me, herding them toward the backyard. I retreated to the kitchen, watching through the window as they posed and laughed and filmed. That's when I heard it. A young woman with perfect hair and expensive sunglasses gestured toward the house. So this is your place? It's gorgeous. Actually, Vanessa said, and I heard the slight edge in her voice. It's my mother-in-law's. We're staying here while we house hunt. She's sweet, but she's getting older, you know? Can't really handle living alone anymore. The woman nodded sympathetically. It's so good of you to help her out. Is she like a live-in situation? Vanessa laughed. I mean, technically she lives here. But honestly, she loves feeling useful, gives her purpose. My hands shook as I gripped the counter. I was not some charity case. This was my home. My house that I'd bought with Tom's life insurance. My mortgage that I'd paid off through careful budgeting and extra shifts at the hospital. My sanctuary that I'd opened out of love for my son and grandchildren. I walked outside, smiled at the influencers, offered them more wine, acted like I hadn't heard. But that night, after everyone left and the kids were asleep, I sat in my bedroom, the only space in the house that still felt like mine, and I cried. Not the gentle tears of sadness, but the hot, angry tears of someone who finally understands they've been played. Then I opened Instagram. Vanessa had posted a video from the party. The caption made my blood run cold. Blessed to have such a supportive family. My sweet MIL Eleanor absolutely insists on hosting and helping with the kids. She says she'd be so lonely without us here. I know some people think elderly parents living with their kids is old-fashioned, but honestly, she needs the company and we need the space. Win-win. She's so needy, family first, grateful heart. The video had 50,000 views. The comments were brutal. At least someone's taking care of her. My grandma was the same way, couldn't handle being alone. You're such a good daughter-in-law for putting up with that. I read every single one. And with each comment, something inside me hardened. I was not needy. I was not lonely. I was not some confused old woman who couldn't function without my son's family around. I was a retired nurse who'd worked 40 years in the ICU, who'd bought this house with my own money, who'd raised Marcus on my own after his father walked out, who'd put him through college, helped with his first car, lent him $10,000 for his wedding that he'd never paid back. I was done. The next morning, I drove to my lawyer's office. I need to serve an eviction notice, I told her. She didn't blink. 30 or 60 days? 30. While she prepared the paperwork, I went to the bank, changed the passwords on my Wi-Fi and all my accounts, removed Marcus as an authorized user on my credit cards, called the tax office to report that a business was incorrectly using my address without my permission. Then I went home and did something I'd never done before. I made my own video. I sat in my living room, Vanessa's sectional visible behind me, and I looked directly into my phone camera. My name is Eleanor Martinez. I'm 68 years old. I'm a retired critical care nurse. I own my home outright. I have excellent health, sharp mind, and a full social calendar. I am not needy. I am not confused. I am not lonely. And I am definitely not someone who requires my son's family to live in my house for free, while they use me for social media content and call it helping me. My hands were steady as I continued. I opened my home because I love my son and I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. Instead, I've been treated like hired help. I've been filmed without permission. I've had my personal space taken over. I've been misrepresented online to thousands of strangers. And when I tried to address it, I was made to feel ungrateful. I paused, gathering myself. So here's what happens next. My son and his wife have 30 days to find new housing. My home will return to being mine. And my relationship with my grandchildren will happen on my terms, not as a backdrop for someone's Instagram story. I posted it with the tag, response to needy. Then I changed my Wi-Fi password and waited. The explosion came within an hour. Vanessa burst through my bedroom door, phone in hand, face red. What the hell is this? Do you have any idea what you've just done to my brand? I looked up from my book, calm as still water. I've told the truth. You've made me look terrible. I have sponsors, partnerships. People are already commenting, calling me a user, saying I'm exploiting you. Are you? I asked quietly. She sputtered. We, Mom. We let you be part of our life. This is my life, Vanessa. You're just visiting. Marcus appeared behind her, looking exhausted. Mom, please, can we just talk about this? I handed him the eviction notice. We can talk. You have 30 days. Over the next week, my video went viral. 200,000 views. 300,000. The comments poured in. But this time, they were different. Good for you. This is what boundaries look like. I'm sending this to my own mother-in-law to apologize. Vanessa's perfectly curated feed became a battleground. Her followers turned on her, dissecting every post where I appeared in the background, counting the times she'd used me for content without credit, demanding apologies. She lost 2 major sponsorships, a wellness brand, a kitchenware company. Both cited values alignment. Marcus tried to negotiate. Mom, please, we need more time. The rental market is impossible right now. I stood firm. You have 23 days left, but the kids can visit me every weekend, here, where they'll actually have my attention instead of competing with a camera. Vanessa tried a different approach. Tears, apologies, promises to change. She even offered to take down all the posts with me in them. It's too late for that, I said. You've already shown me who you are. I believe you now. They moved out on day 29. A cramped 2-bedroom apartment 40 minutes inland where the rent was high and the walls were thin. No beach, no lanai, no free childcare. I reclaimed my home slowly, reverently, moved my grandmother's sofa back to its rightful place, rehung my family photos, planted new flowers in the garden, and every Sunday, like clockwork, Marcus brought the kids over. Just the 3 of them. No Vanessa, no cameras, no performance. We made cookies, built sandcastles, read stories under the mango tree. One afternoon, as Marcus watched me help Lily with a puzzle, he said quietly, I'm sorry, Mom. I should have protected you. I looked at him, really looked, and I saw not the successful sales director or Vanessa's husband, but my son, tired, ashamed, finally understanding what he'd allowed to happen. You can start now, I said. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet. But it was a beginning. That evening, after they left, I sat on my lanai with a glass of wine and watched the sun set over the Gulf. My home was quiet, but it wasn't lonely. It was mine. And for the first time in months, that was more than enough. If you've learned something from my story, I hope it's this. Your boundaries don't make you a bad mother or grandmother. Your home is your sanctuary, and you get to decide who's welcome in it. And love, real love, doesn't require you to disappear. Thanks for listening to Women's Voices. Subscribe if this resonated with you, and share your own story in the comments. You matter. Your voice matters. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise.